Hey, everybody. This is your daily dose of all things royal. Welcome back, my gorgeous, good looking friends. Today, this article popped up from the New York Post. Where have these people been for the last few years? Like, why is nobody listening to the little people? Meghan and Harry want money and power, and they want to control people. They straight up want to rule the world in a very authoritarian regime. As exhausting as they are, it's important that we do not take our eye off the ball here.
The Great Reset has become shorthand on conservative talk shows for what skeptics say is a reorganization of society.
Today, we're going to talk a little bit about the World Economic Forum and why this is very relevant to this Harry and Meghan situation. The World Economic Forum is mostly known for its annual meeting at the end of January in Davos, which currently wraps up on January 20th. The purpose of this forum is to directly influence global agendas and decision making. Again, they are lobbying for public-private corporations. Now, the founder of this WEF is Klaus Schwab. Some fun facts about Klaus. His parents had moved from Switzerland to Germany during the Third Reich in order for his father to assume the role of director at Eicher Weiss AG. Now, for those that don't know what Eicher Weiss AG is, it's a company that manufactured the hydraulic systems of the hydroelectric plants. During World War II, the company was a supplier for the German war effort, manufacturing turbines for Norsk Hydro and supplying flamethrowers. But the kicker of it all is that the company was an integral part of researching and developing turbines to produce heavy water for the creation of nuclear weapons for the Nazis. The worrying thing about this organization is, according to the Transnational Institute, the forum is planning to replace a recognized democratic model with a model where a self-selected group of stakeholders make decisions on behalf of the people. Isn't that what we call socialism? Or are we trying to rebrand the word democracy to represent what socialism is? Just like how we've rebranded the word lies into my truth.
Even our own media, they really don't like your free speech. Because if your views are contrary to theirs, and your views are passionately expressed, it's going to be described as disinformation, misinformation, a conspiracy theory, or their favorite, hate speech.
A large part of this mission is to try and change the media landscape within the UK for the benefit of the whole country. Again, maybe that's lofty thinking, or maybe it's a suicide mission.
Yeah.
But for me, I can see how it can be done. And there's very few people within the world right now who have the evidence and the information that I have to be able to change that.
And the European Commission for Values and Transparency want their rules to apply here.
We need the people who understand the language and the case law in the country. Because what qualifies as hate speech, as illegal hate speech, which you will have soon also in the US, I think that we have a strong reason why we have this in the criminal law.
They're experiencing a power emergency, meaning theirs is in jeopardy. Protecting their own perches of influence and money, consolidating their power by any means necessary is their aim. So your modes of transportation, your food sources, how you cook your food, your right to self-defense, your right to free speech, even your right to own property would be sacrificed for the greater good.
We have seen Meghan and Harry target the youth in order to indoctrinate them in this way of thinking. This is exactly what these youth rallies used to look like back in Germany.
That we are stronger when we work together. We are happier when we work in the service of others.
So the left-wing media has been pushing out these puff pieces around the agenda that is publicly made by the WEF, pushing it as conservatives making conspiracy theories, which I'm going to show you. In 2021, the WEF are responsible for putting together this promotional ad for this forum. It's not the conspiracy theorists, conservatives making all of this stuff up. They actually are on record saying this stuff. Regular people like you and I are rightly to be alarmed by this. Who the F are they to be the ones to say you can't have anything, but you're going to be happy because it's better this way? They give this loose example as whatever you want, you'll rent and it'll be delivered by a drone. Look, we already have this type of service with Amazon. What's concerning to me is that it could be anything. It could be a car, it could be your home. If you have no control or ownership of these types of things, and there are systems in place that will restrict you based on if you don't believe in certain things, or if you say something wrong, or if you don't go along with what everybody else is doing, then you possibly could find your life getting a lot harder because now you won't be able to have access to certain things. Or it's taken away from you because it has to be given to somebody else, where I could totally see corruption come into play and people getting cheated out of certain things over other people. This model is already in effect in certain countries like North Korea. To my American viewers, how does that feel that this message is being permeated throughout this forum? We have a prince of the UK on US soil trying to undermine Americans' freedom of speech and civil liberties, all with the motivation for money and power. Many people have been wondering over the last few days, where has the wife and the husband been since the shitstorm of this book being published? Well, I would put some good money on the fact that they're lurking around this Davos World Economic Forum. And I say that because Harry has attended this with Charles in the past, and what a coinky dink! Better Up is also featured at this forum giving a speech. Let me read this post that was put up on the World Economic Forum website about their involvement. It says, "The fourth industrial revolution is creating massive disruption and change to the world of work and impacting both organizations and employees alike. Research has shown that social and emotional skills, advanced cognitive capabilities, and creativity and innovation are essential for leaders to help them effectively navigate the tide of digital transformation affecting nearly every industry and business. Within this context, organizations are increasingly investing in their people so that they are equipped with the right skills and capabilities to adapt to the increasingly competitive and ever-changing world of work." Alexei Robichaud, co-founder and CEO of Better Up, spoke to us in Davos about how organizations are investing in individual employee growth and development across all levels. In this new world of work, organizations are no longer operating in a command and control environment. Instead, the best ideas and crucial decisions are often coming from frontline workers, resulting in an increased commitment among companies who want to improve the performance of all of their people, not just those at the top. Organizations are increasingly now investing in coaching for employees at all levels. Everyone from the customer service agent interfacing directly with customers to frontline managers and leaders of large teams. Advances in technology combined with Better Up's global network of 2,000 coaches enables Better Up to offer one-to-one personalized coaching in a scalable, cost-efficient way. Quoted from Alexei Robichaud, "We know employees want to feel like they matter at work and that they're growing," Alexei explains. "More than pay, more than better benefits, employees are looking to develop and grow as human beings. And employers who make that investment will see the lion's share of the economic upside." This is coming from the CEO of a company who hired a chief impact officer who is currently using drugs, who has a history of being violent and mentally unstable. And according to the most recent Glassdoor review, it doesn't sound like Better Up is practicing what they're preaching. In a previous video that I did a while back, I explained that BetterUp has been harvesting people's data for the large corporations that are under these corporate contracts. BetterUp has tools that corporations can use to track the employees. So, for instance, let's say you have an employee that is on a performance improvement plan and they're required to attend these coaching sessions. Managers do have access to be able to customize reports on their subordinates. So if they were trying to push somebody out of an organization and have a paper trail of it, they could very well do it through here and actually get an idea as to what is going on in the minds of these employees. It may be positioned or sold as, yes, you can optimize your workforce by understanding them better, but it also could be used as a tool to fire people and not be sued. The more concerning thing or issue that I have with BetterUp is providing services to our military, collecting information on that, especially those that are suffering from mental health illnesses and are disclosing information that maybe they shouldn't. This company should not be privy to any sort of intelligence that may compromise the United States homeland security. Based on what is coming out of the mouths of these people directly at the World Economic Forum, is a clear attempt to dismantle democracy in Western civilizations. Western values will have been tested to the breaking point. Freedom of thought, freedom of religion, freedom of expression. That's what I think of when I hear the word Western values, the ability to have freedom. So what is being insinuated here in the statement that comes directly after this? Checks and balances. It's an interesting choice of words. To me, that represents surveillance on your money, surveillance on who you're talking to, surveillance on your conversations, your messaging, the ideas, the thoughts, the checks and balances around your right to practice certain religions. This is all about controlling people, and it scares me to death. And people need to wake up to the hypocrisy because you have a group of very powerful, wealthy people gathering, planning out what you're going to be able to do in your future, how much you can grow, what you can achieve, how much you can make, and what you can have. They're even going as far as telling people what they can eat. Does anybody believe that King Charles and his family are going to be eating insect burgers anytime soon? But let's talk about the one global agenda that's being pushed currently that really pisses me off. We'll have to do a better job at welcoming and integrating refugees. Excuse me? Many of you know that I'm from New York and live in New York City. I am beyond furious at what is going on in the city right now. I'm sure a lot of you are unaware of what is going on. We are being infiltrated by thousands of migrants coming from Mexico, Venezuela, God knows where else, undocumented, and we're putting them up in luxury hotels for extended amounts of time. What makes me really angry about this is that hardworking American tax dollars like mine are going towards giving these people room and board, and they are disrupting the city. The liberal media outlets that broadcasted Harry's bullshit over the last couple of weeks literally broadcast a block away from this hotel with all this chaos going on. They have yet to do a piece or bring light or expose that this is a real serious problem that has been brought on by the Biden administration. Let me show you a luxury hotel that normally costs $700 a night of where these migrants are staying and what my tax money is being wasted on.
Migrants accused of trashing the luxury taxpayer-funded hotel that New York is using for them to stay in. A staffer there finally couldn't take it anymore, so he blew the whistle.
Look at it.
Felipe Rodriguez is in the housekeeping department at the Row Hotel in Midtown and told us the accumulating garbage is only a small part of what workers there are dealing with.
That the food is not exactly what they would like, and there is mayhem going on in these hotels, having sex in the hallways, getting into fights, domestic abuse is taking place.
Yes, the empty beer bottles and cans are all over the hallway.
Throwing away tons of the daily meals that are being provided to them.
I can verify that this is going on because this is my city and the city's not that big. Midtown is flooded and it's no longer safe for tourists, which is really bad for the city's economy. It really does make me sad to see how quickly this city has deteriorated. And I'm at the point where I'm debating on if I should be moving because I do not see this improving anytime soon. I think Janine Pereiro says it the best. There are major concerns that I have as well as other residents of New York.
They decide they're going to enter our country, and to answer your question, Martha, it's horrible. If you want a trash hotel that costs $500 a night, 26,000 immigrants in New York City having $500 a night hotel rooms, that's outrageous. And if they don't like the food, well, that's just too damn bad.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, let me get to the facts here. We don't hear about illegals because we don't know who we are, but I'll tell you who they are. But I'll tell you who we do hear from: the Latin Kings, the MS-13. You want to talk about crime? How do we have 2 million people come into the United States of America totally unvetted? I want to know who's a pedophile. I want to know who beats his wife. I want to know who's a cheat, who drives drunk, who's a thief, who's killed in another country, who's a member of MS-13. Don't give me this hogwash that these are people, they don't commit crimes, we need them for safe for America. That's just BS, and you know it.
Everybody is working in an environment that's hostile. The stress is crazy.
I see the National Guard in there.
Yes, they're standing right there.
When did they arrive here? When did that start happening?
They arrived here shortly after I complained with HR.
So to say we'll have to do a better job at welcoming and integrating refugees? Nope, not on board with this agenda. This is an agenda that Meghan and Harry are definitely aligned. And for those that are going to write in the comments section, please don't waste your time in telling me that these two do not have any power or nobody takes them seriously. I said now for the last 2 years that these two have been trying to control freedom of speech. And what does Harry go and do 2 weeks ago? He openly admits that he is trying to control the UK media. What's it going to take for Main Street people, like regular folks like you and I, to finally wake up and recognize that Meghan and Harry are dangerous? Just because this idiot puts out a book of his lies and the media is allowing it, we have to ask the question, why is this happening? Why are they allowed to do this? Why are they allowed to prove that they can lie, they can slander, they can cause chaos and division? Obviously, money is a primary factor, but when you look at the ethics surrounding it and all the people participating in it, is it to break society down in order to gain control and power? Let's remember that Meghan and Harry are not that smart. However, they do have people advising them. So you have to wonder the people around them who are advising them on how they push out their product, the messaging that they push out, the backhanded things that are going on. What is their real agenda? And part of me feels like they want to be a part of this global elite system in order to have more power and to gain more control. And I do believe that Meghan and Harry are being used. Well, actually more Harry so because he's part of the royal family. When we look at Better Up, actually making it to Davos and having a platform to speak at with these global elites, how do you think they got in there? Not because they have some superior product or it's really actually doing anything. It's because of Harry. Harry has the inroads to get in there. It wouldn't surprise me if the reason why we haven't heard from Meghan and Harry next week gets leaked that they were somehow involved with Davos.
In 2 years, America is going to have a new leader who puts America first and the Davos doofuses on notice. But just remember this: Klaus and the gang's greatest hits are only popular among a small slice of left-wing fanatics and elites who fly to Davos to virtue signal on the way to the caviar and Cristal.
We are sure living in some interesting times. What do you think? Leave your thoughts below. As always, I will be back with some more content. But until then, be safe, and I will catch you soon. Bye.
It was such a fraud.